Okay, getting everything ready. We're gonna see how well this works this morning. So my wife is out of town. My boys are downstairs playing, and we'll see how long they let me stream for. So let's set up this tweet. See if I actually did this right this time. And all right, we should be good to go. So let me mute this on my end. Testing. Okay. All of a sudden I lost sound on my tablet, but it looks like it's recording. All right, so what is our plan for today? Today we were going to continue with some pixel art stuff that we were doing yesterday. Since, why do I have two audio monitors? Testing. All right, I still see some audio coming through, so that's good. What I wanted to do, this we can quit out of this. Let's open up. Let's see where we are. We have the latest version of Pixel Vision 8, and we're going to put this off to the side, and we're going to clean up the pixel art that we were working on yesterday. So, where is the resources folder? Sprites. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how we can tweak the artwork for the zombies and possibly even the furniture. We'll see how much time we get into. Yesterday I spent a good chunk of time breaking apart the way that these sprites worked, because what we ran into is the Nintendo had some pretty strict color limitations. Mostly you're only allowed to have 3 colors per sprite. So the way that we're able to build these characters out is that we actually have to lay down a base layer of sprites, and then we put sprites on top of them that add in the extra detail. So if we take a look at what we were building yesterday, this is what we came up with. So we have a guy and a girl character. These are the jump animations. I could slow down the animation as well. And then this is the run animation, and I can speed it up so we can get a better sense of what that looks like. So this is where we left off. What I wanted to do was add in the zombie, and we'll stop this and come here. Now, the zombie, I pretty much have a good sense of how I want to do this from yesterday, but what I'm going to try to do is I'd like to figure out how I can just clean this up a little bit, and we'll put maybe the zombie down here, and we'll move the furniture down. So let's create a few tasks real quick, and we'll see how far we can get today. So clean up sprite PSD, and we want to get zombie sprites working. Clean up fern. Why can't I spell anything? Chrome. Oops. There we go. I can't spell. It's sort of embarrassing, but at this point, at 38, I just don't care anymore. I think I used to maybe care. Now I definitely don't. So let's clean up our furniture. And those are the 3 tasks that I sort of want to accomplish this morning. I don't have a lot of time. I'm probably going to stream until about 11 o'clock. And we'll see how far we get. So what I want to do is let's save this as I'm going to save this as v2 3ps, and we'll just save out a copy before I start doing anything silly with it. And let's come here we have these the girl overlay sprites. Now these sprites are basically these are the sprites that get laid on top of the girl. She winds up she has a few extra frames, which is what we had to account for here yesterday, where the guy's animation is only 3 sprites across the center, or the extra overlay colors. the girl had some issues with her hair, and we had to do some extra overlays with the hands. So the girl sprite actually takes up a few extra. She takes up a few extra sprites. I think it's like 2 extra sprites. So we had it originally where she was just the same as the guy, but that didn't work out. So I'm gonna delete this, and what I just want to do is I just want to start moving this stuff up. And I'm not 100% sure. Let me copy this, and we'll just move this here. I'm gonna try to see how we'll see how organized we can get this. So that means that we can delete these sprites here, and I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. We'll move the slices up, and then let's see here for the girl. We can just delete this magenta. And the only reason I'm using the magenta is I don't think there is a way that I can just copy the sprites with, like, whenever you copy stuff and it has transparency, it automatically gets it automatically like gets cropped, which I don't like. So I've just been using copy all layers and using the magenta to help me realign things. So now we can get rid of this here. And on this, what was the new layer that just got pasted? That's that. This is this. All right, let's just get rid of this. And we'll just keep copying these things. Oh, see here, we actually had some extra magenta that I didn't see before. Let's move. So the zombie, we're gonna have to really be careful with the zombie. We're gonna want to make sure that that is as optimized as possible, because we don't want to create a lot of extra sprites for the zombie. So we'll go through and we'll make sure, like, this one's not gonna have as much customization, and you're not gonna see them on the screen as much. One thing I'm noticing that's really weird is my PC lately has been like overheating. I hear like the fan, and it usually doesn't go. I think I might have to change out I might have to change out my my capture card, which is sort of annoying. All right, I'll deal with that. I'll do that maybe later today. All right, so we can get rid of this here, and let's move these 3 slices here. And in a second, I'll rebuild everything, and I'll sort of show you how. We'll sort of test out how this works, and I'll sort of explain this workflow a little bit better. But what I want to see next is we still got more of the girl sprites. So let's just copy the rest of this stuff and paste this here. And then what do we have room for? One more. Move that there, and then we'll copy this, and I'll just I'll paste it there for right now, and I'll move it around later. So let's make sure that these guys are aligned correctly. Copy these, or just move these slices over, and then move this slice up. And should be able to delete all this stuff now. And I'll just move the last of the girls' overlays up to here so that it's all together, and then we'll move this. We'll just do the zombie underneath them or something. I don't know. Maybe we can just do this right here, and we'll see if I need to make more room for the zombie. So let's move these slices, and all we need to do now is let's merge all of these layers together. So that should be all of the girls' overlays. And then we can remove the magenta, bring the magenta back in. And now we will, we're gonna save out a sprites PNG file. So let's see here, where's PNG? So we'll save this into our sandbox folder so that Pixel Vision 8 can load it in. And then we are going to export all of these layers into the into here. So let's save this and replace it. And we're going to go back into our sprites and let's rebuild and then rerun everything. And we're just going to go through all the animations, just make sure that there aren't any missing colors, and everything appears to be good. So, all right. One thing I noticed is I forgot to set my Pomodoro timer. So okay, so we've sort of cleaned up the sprites PNG. That'll help get us. Oops, this is a new thing. I need to. I don't know. I was playing around with having Pixel Vision 8 run in the background, and I'm not sure I like that. I feel like it takes up a lot of resources. But let's see here. We cleaned up the sprites the PSD. Now let's go in and we'll start coloring everything the way that we did before. One thing I always want to do real quick is I just want to move this furniture down. And let's just move the furniture down to its own area. We're also going to need to move its slices. And this will just open up some whoops, why didn't that all copy over? This will just open up some space for this will open up some space for us to have the zombies underneath it. So the way that I sort of did this yesterday, and let's just hide the default sprites. What we're going to do is, I wonder what layer 1 is. I don't think we need that layer 1. Let's delete this too. And one thing I want to do is before I actually save this, I want to save this file as sprites PSD. We've already made a backup copy of it. We'll replace that. And I just want to make sure that the current version that we're working in is always sprites PSD. So hold on one second. I'll be right back. All right, so let's go ahead. And the way that we did this yesterday was that I just simply copy out these sprites. And we're going to do this in two ways. First, we're going to copy out this guy, and we got to just go through and just figure out what where we want additional colors. And from what I'm looking at, 1, 2, 3. It looks like we're only going to need to do the center area. So this might work out pretty well. So what we can actually do is I'm just going to copy out the center, and I'm going to paste it on top. Then we will remove the colors we don't think we need, and then that'll become the mask, and then we can copy things out. I'll sort of show you how this works. So what we're going to do is let's just copy this and paste it on top. And now what happens, I'm going to just lower the transparency here so we can sort of see it. And what we're going to do is we're going to, on this layer that we copied out, we're going to remove the black, which is the outline. It's purple now, but it becomes black because we don't really need that. And I think we're just going to remove the shirt. I don't think we need the shirt either. And now if we bring back the transparency, what should happen is if we move this, we'll call this zombie mask. And we move this here, you'll see that it'll just sort of mask out the areas where we want to have the overlay. Now let's go and we'll duplicate this and we'll put this up here, and we're going to call this zombie overlay. And you'll see once the overlay is back, you actually get all the colors. And we can now take this zombie overlay. Whoops, wrong one. We can now take the zombie overlay and we can just reorganize it here. So there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This works out perfect. I'm like strangely OCD about how I like lay things out. But all right, let's see. This should be, the head should just be left aligned. So I'll just compress this. And then now what we can do is we'll just create some new slices based on the existing running slices. And we'll see how this all looks. It shouldn't be very hard. We sort of set up the foundation for this yesterday. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy these over one by one and shrink them, and then we'll rename them in a second. So I'm taking the existing slices because what we're doing is we're just trying to get the naming the same. The only thing we add is the word overlay to it, since it is the overlay. And so the goal of this game is that we're gonna have some characters. We'll have the main character running in the center. We're gonna have the zombies coming out from the right-hand side of the screen going left, and it's the player's job to sort of jump over them. And there's also some furniture and other obstacles to avoid. But what I'm thinking about is combining the furniture and the obstacles into the background so that I can save on sprites. Since the furniture doesn't really change, there's probably very little reason to have them as individual sprites. The Nintendo can only show 64 sprites at once. So these characters are using up a lot of the memory. So we're gonna have to be sort of creative when it comes to how the background gets rendered. And part of what I'm trying to do now is figure out all the main artwork so that I can tell Evie, who did the pixel art, how to actually build out the backgrounds, because that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. And I need to. It's going to be a technical challenge, and it's also going to be an artistic challenge because you're only going to be allowed 3 colors per sprite in the background, and that's going to be a hard cap. So all right, so let's see. I got all this set up. I got our zombie here. So let's save out a new oops, let's go here. Why is this now being like this? Okay, let's save out a new PNG. And zombie time, I see. Yes. It is zombie time. And then we're going to save out all the individual slices. And let's see if we can really quickly get this up and running. Now, all we need to do is go into our code. We'll open this up in Atom. So our sandbox is in Pixel Vision 8 what contains all of the files for our game. And this should be pretty straightforward. I'm actually going to, whoops. Let's see, sb.sprites. So I just want to make sure that we now have the zombie. I didn't see a zombie overlay. So it doesn't look like it was able to load that in. Oh, you know why? It's because I had to go back in and let's reload this. And so unfortunately it looks like just because of the way that we're doing all of our graphics, oh hey, look at this. Our zombie foot has run out of colors. We might have to add in another row. Everything else in the zombie looks to be okay. So let's create a new builder. That should give us our zombie overlay stuff. And then now in our entities, We can get rid of this code. In our entities class, let's go ahead and look for our zombie. And what we need to do is create these new... I'm just going to copy this over from the girl, and then we'll just replace it with the right data. But let's copy over this. We just need to create a overlay offset and the overlay frames. Now the overlay offset on this guy is going to be 8 by 8 with a width of 1. And what we need to do is just add the word overlay to the end of each of these. And we set up the code the other day so that by just simply adding a new set of frames to the entity, that it'll automatically display the overlay correctly. And that's just based on sort of a naming convention and sort of the way that we set this up. So let's go into our code, and we're going to, I created the zombie. Let's just make sure that we are updating our zombie. So we'll add the zombie back into the mix, and we need to draw the zombie. So let's run this, and there we go. Now we have our zombie. So what I want to do is, first off, the zombie can probably be 96 calculator. What is it? It's 3 by 8 is 24, multiplied by 3 is 72. So 72. And let's move. Wait, what was so it's 3 by 8. That should be 8, 24 plus 8 is 32. So 72 plus 8 will be 80. And that should line them up. Whoops, maybe not. So what is it? 8 multiplied by 3 plus 32. So it's 56. All right, there we go. So I think a delivery is going to hit the door, and then all of a sudden the dog is going to go nuts. All right, so it looks like, right, we do have we don't have the zombie hooked up to our animation system. Now, there is only one animation for the zombie, but what we want to do is change the frame delay for the zombie. So the frame delay will just simply slow the zombie down. So right, so we do have one little thing. Let's take a look at where. So right here, this one frame has well, and this frame here too. So this one and this one are showing too many colors. So what we're probably going to do is let's just we'll just increase this. So let's copy out this, 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 and this. I don't think we're going to use them all. Let's only do it on the ones that we really need it. So here, here, and that's good, and that's good. Okay, so we only have it on these two frames. So let's copy that, and we're going to paste that down. And what we want to do is we're going to mask out, we'll just leave the tan color. So here, here, and here, we'll delete that. And then now if we put this here and mask it, that should mask off, right, okay, so we are masking off the color. And now we can just copy this, move this here, merge these layers, and now we should be good to go. So that's our overlay. All we need, I shouldn't have done that. Whoops, sorry. What I need to do now is just copy, whoops. Oh, there goes the dog. That crazy dog. All right, so let's move this guy. What was that, the second frame, right? Move him here, and we'll move him here. And now we can delete this. The most professional recording studio ever. Shocked the kids aren't screaming yet. All right, so we'll take this, and this. Put this down, and now that should help us, right? We're masking off this light color. All right, so let's go and save this out. This should just be a PNG. And you'll see, like, once I have the system in place, it took a few days to get this sort of workflow. It took a few days to get this workflow down, but now that I have it, you'll see that I'm moving a lot faster. I now understand sort of how I want to do this. A big part of it was just trying to figure out how I wanted to clean up these sprites and how I would do this sort of moving forward. And now we have a good set of sprites. If I come in here and I exit this, let's redo the builder and rerun this. We'll now see that there's no more, if I slow everything down, we'll now see that there is, all the colors are where they need to be. So, and then this is sort of the running animation with both of them running. And I think, you know, for the most part, this works out pretty good. I think there are a lot of things that we could probably do to sort of optimize this. One thing that I probably would do is just, if we just made sure that they all use the same legs, that's fine. The zombies sort of should have different legs, so it feels a little bit different. But for the most part, this is pretty optimized. And I think using about a page, a little bit over a page, and change is enough memory. So between the fonts and this, so pages 1 and pages 2 are really just taking up all the content we need for our guys. Now, I mean, there's some errant little sprites and stuff that I'm not terribly happy about, but I just don't think there's any better way to do this. And I think this looks pretty smooth. Like, I'm really happy with this. I think the bigger challenge that we're going to have is how do we fill up the entire screen, because these sprites are like super tiny, right? So we're going to try to do some pretty good, I'm hoping that Eevee could just do some really good background. He could do some really good background art so that we have like a really nice rich background. And even though we have like tiny sprites, which is sort of indicative of how Nintendo games were, that's just sort of what we're going to be able to do. I wonder, so let's take a look at now cleaning up the furniture. I think that's next on the list. And I'm going to copy this, paste it down. We could probably make some more room for it. So let's do this. I'm going to move all this stuff over. So let's start with this girl, and we're going to move it over. Whoops, that's not where I wanted to move it. We're going to move it over to here. And we'll move the zombie over so that we can just get the furniture. Oh, here comes recycling. That might be a little loud in the background. Move that, and now we can bring the furniture sort of up. Perfect. So bring the furniture up. Let's bring the slices up too. And then in this background layer, we'll move this up as well. So, all right. That should cover our stuff. Now, what we're going to do is we should probably... What I'm thinking is I may not actually... Well, I should palletize this this stuff. Now, one of the challenges we had was I think when I was going to display them, it wound up... Let's see. I just want to do some math here real quick and see if we can actually render these out. So 152 by 16, calculator. 152 divided by 8. That's so it's 19 divided by 2. That's 38 sprites. And what I want to see is, so we're at 51 sprites right now. So any more sprites and we wouldn't be able to display that. So, This, what are we over by? 64. We're over by 25 sprites. So I just won't be able to display all the furniture. But maybe what we could do is maybe we just put them in the background and we can make like a little background texture. So, all right, let's do this. Let's save this, and we're going to save the PNG and take a look in Pixel Vision 8 at where the color issues are. So I already sort of know where they are. This cabinet had an issue. Let's go. We can take a look in Pixel Vision. Also, we should export these as well, just so that we have them replace. Cool. All right, so refresh this, and we'll rebuild it. Now, as we come in and we look, we'll see like the TV here. The TV has too many. The TV has too many colors. Elise is saying that we should use the flip mode. So we can't really use the flip mode in if these were sprites we could probably use it, but let's go in and clean up some of these colors. So I think the big problem is, let's how do we want to do this? First off, I'm going to try to clean up the colors first. So in this here where it has the gray, we're just going to have to, like, so we can either we can either use blue as the highlight. So this is like pretty atypical of what a Nintendo sprite would look like, right? You would have this challenge where you wanted to add like a little bit of extra color, and the thing is that you can't, because there's not enough colors around. So because we have because we have this gray here, we can either mirror this highlight color here, or we can just make it solid gray. I think we're just going to do. I think what we'll do is we're going to do a mix. Let's do this. Let's just gray this out, but we'll leave that one little highlight there. And now, and these guys are pretty easy to fix. Well, I think just what's going to happen is, so because of this highlight color here, so here we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors. I think what we're going to have to do is we're just going to take this brown highlight and we're just going to have to make it black. There's just not really much we can do about it. What I want to do is make sure that we don't do that on the couch. But let's just make that black. And this way, it's either that or we make it this highlight. So I think the black is probably the best. Now, I think what we could do is, I mean, we could do a mix of it, because the black makes everything like really dark. Like, it's not so bad. Whoops, I'm doing all kinds of, I'm hitting too many keys here. I think what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna come in here and we'll try to get a, we'll try to find like the happy medium. So what I think, well, I don't know. This might, I want to see one other thing. Is the couch, yeah, the couch is too many colors as well because of the brown. It's these are always a tough call, like what we want to do the colors as. I think the best solution is probably going to be to do I still have the highlight? I think I'm just going to make it this orange, and we'll go in and we'll add the detail later. And I'll just come in and I'll just fix what's missing, because it's not really a one type of solution. So like for here and here, it would probably just be something more like this. And that should work. Now, the next challenge that we really have is trying to figure out. Elise is sending me a link here about mirroring in the chat. So he was saying that we could do a lot of this stuff with mirroring, and it's true. Like, we can cut down on the sprites. I mean, I'm not terribly. If this was a real NES cartridge, I would say that we'd have more of a concern of that. Basically, just taking like this side and mirroring it on the other side. What I want to do now is we just got to figure out the couch. So the couch, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the couch is a little bit interesting. What we're gonna probably have to do with the couch is just bring the colors up a bit here, so that there's only 1, 2, 3 colors here, and then down on this side, there's nothing we can do for this. It's going to have to be, unless we got rid of the black. So the couch, how could we fix this? So what we could do is get rid of this black line and move this black line up, and then do something like this, so that here we have 1, 2, 3, and then here, if we just moved, let's do this. And then I think we should just move this up a little bit. And so what we've done for the couch for the couch, what we're going to do is, so this should now fix the couch. Where basically we've made sure that I don't know, do we want to like thin it out a little bit? I don't think that matters. I think this is no, we will. We'll make it match the top area so that it's even. But now what's happened? Oh, you know what? This didn't fix the problem because there's still black here and there's still black here. So I think let's go back. The only way that we're going to be able to fix this couch really is going to be by just getting rid of the extra blue. That's unfortunately that's the problem, and I think like it works here, but it doesn't work here. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to ask Evie sort of what he wants to do, but that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's not much else I can do. I mean, the only thing I could do would be if doing that, I would have to get rid of the blue. No, this is the best I can do, and that's fine. I mean, I think if we actually just sort of did that, that should be. I don't know, that should be enough. Oh no, who knows? I mean, I'm not going to sit here. It looks a little plain now. What I wanted to see was let me go back in. Maybe this thing we can do with some black to just sort of give it a little bit more definition, but nah, I don't like that either. All right, we're just gonna have to leave it like this. I think maybe just the best that we could do is sort of like this two-tone, and maybe we could just do I don't know, something like that. So it looks like a big mouth. I think the only way we can fix this sprite is just by making it two-tone. So the back would be a little darker, and the foreground would be a little lighter. And that's sort of where we are. All right, so now if we save this, whoops. So Ali is in the chat. He's deaf, so he listens to it on mute. So I do have to take some time to just like pause and sort of include him in the conversation. So I usually just repeat some of the stuff that I say in the chat so that he can be involved. Let's save this as a PNG, replace. Let's export these sprites. And let's finish up this Pomodoro. So get the zombie sprites working, and I believe we've cleaned up the furniture. I haven't tested this yet. Let's go back and we'll test this and just make sure that everything works. So let's refresh this. And now this stuff looks much better. Like it looks like it's all the sprites are there. Everything is good. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Just gonna check on my boys, make sure everything is okay with them, since I am home alone with them. And so we're gonna do this at 9:48. So I'll do 9:50. We'll just do 9:55 a.m. just to be sure. So I'm gonna be right back. When I come back, what we're gonna do is we'll try to figure out how to get. Maybe we'll get the zombies running or something. We'll see if we can do like a quick little demo and how that would look. So I'll be right back. Okay. Excuse me, I'm back. So let's see here. I just want to look through. Elise had sent me a link. So, all right, what can we do next? Let's see if we can get the furniture to display. Right? So that's probably the next logical step. So now what we're going to do is I don't know why my brain will not like furniture. What is selected here? All right. So let's take a look at furniture and see how we can get this displaying. Now there should be what I'm thinking is draw. I believe I fixed draw sprites to actually put this stuff into the. We'll see if I can actually use draw sprites to draw something into the background. It should work. Let's do like furniture couch, for example. So let's make this 110 with false, and we'll do a draw mode tile. I don't think this is going to work, but let's give it a try. Oh, hey, look at that. It actually drew. Interesting. All right, so now all we need to do is let's create a list of furniture. So and we'll go to the data or here. I wish you could like select rows, or like I wish you could like just like select text in a box, which you can't do in code, which is sort of annoying. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do furniture couch, furniture dresser large, furniture dresser medium, furniture dresser small, furniture table, and furniture TV, right? So that's sort of the alphabetical order of this stuff. And there shouldn't be any other furniture. And then what we'll do is start column 1. And actually what we can do is do this here. Next column equals 1. And let's just create a quick for loop that will iterate through the furniture. And we're just going to draw each item. So what we'll do is next column equals, let's do, we'll do local item equals furniture I as we iterate through it. And here we can do, whoops, this we'll do next column. And I think we're a little too low. Let's make this 8, right? We'll do items with, and everything else will be the same. And then for the next column, what we can do is next column, what do we want to do? Next column will equal item with, whoops, item with +1. And this should also equal next column plus item with +1. All right, let's give this a try and see what happens. There we go, bingo. All right, so now we've drawn our furniture. Hey, look at that. Super productive morning. This is all because I spent the past week really trying to figure out how to get all this stuff working, and now that it works, it should be pretty straightforward. So now what I want to do next is let's add some notes here real quick. Whoops, let me minimize this, and then so that's funny. It's still, the mouse is still hidden in that area. Okay, so we've cleaned up the furniture, right? We've displayed furniture. So we've displayed our furniture. Clean up colors so they work on a NES. Create palettes. All right, so that's the next step of what we want to do, right? Let's close this out and let's create palettes for the furniture. So I'm going to save this PSD, and let me save this PSD, and we'll do this as V2, and we'll save this as that. All right, so replace, good, and then I'm just going to close this out, and we're just going to open back up the sprites PSD. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to do palettes. Now, we'll probably just match, well, let me open up our color map real quick, just so I can get the order correct. Because, whoa, what's going on, Photoshop? All right, Photoshop is being silly right now, so let's quit it and restart it. There we go. And we also want to go to resources, sprite PSD. All right, so like the one thing I want to do with the furniture, I should really fix this with the player sprites, is that we should do a better job of realigning them to the palette. But you know, let's try to purple, brown, the light tan, and the orange. All right, so we're going to do the last 4 of this palette, and basically just replace the colors. So, and then I'll come in later at another time and sort of fix this. But let's do, so that'll be that. Let's just do this. For the orange, we'll use this color. For this, we'll use the white. And that should be all of that. Now, the other thing that we'll do is we'll do the same thing here. So we're just going to use orange and this blue. We'll use this white. And I'll sort of show you how I'm going to how we'll re-palette them. So then for here, for this brown, we'll use the orange. And then for here, we'll use the white, but then whoops, is that what this color is? Yeah. All right, so here we're gonna need to just use a different color, which is sort of annoying. We'll have to use this blue for right now. I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to repalette that, because like something like this couch might need to have like technically this is like a real nest. We would have to keep the palettes. Well, the palettes would only be in 3 colors, but I don't know. We'll have to come back to this because this might not work the way that I want it to. But that's fine. Right now, if we save this as a PNG. All right, and then let's export out each of these images again to the sprite builder. And come here and rerun this. Now, if we play this, you'll see that the furniture looks pretty gross. And what we're gonna have to do is, like, I think holistically, I'm gonna have to come in and do like a lot of palette. I'm gonna have to clean this palette stuff up. Now that we sort of got the colors working, we can create some new palettes though for it. So what we might do is, let's go and take all the colors out that make up the furniture, and we'll sort of get this working. So let's see here. Now, here's our regular palette. What I want to do is I'm going to open up the current palette, or the current colors. I just want to get this thing to... Ugh, Photoshop is so terrible with its docking. Like, none of it works the way that it's supposed to. Fine, whatever. Let's just move this over, and I'm going to create a... I'm going to create a new palette that'll represent all the colors for this. In fact, the way that we should do it is I think I want to go back and fix something here, because what I'm thinking is that let me undo this real quick. Well, actually, what I want is I'm going to create an 8-color palette that just represents all the colors that the furniture can have. So, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Let's put this guy here. And then let's come over here, and we're just going to pick some new colors. So I think I picked that blue. So what we'll do is here, we'll pick the red. Yeah, I see what I want to do. This color stuff isn't going to be exactly like how a real Nintendo palette would sort of work. So we're just going to have to sort of fake it, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for the red. The purple should be this black. So if we look in, this is the 3rd color in, we're going to just make this black. And we're going to come here, and now where this orange is, which is the 4th color, let's go ahead and sample this, and we're going to paste this here. We'll take this yellow and basically had to sneeze. Basically what we'll do is where this yellow is, we're going to make it this top gold color. And those will be the three colors of this right now. The next thing we needed to do was, I think what we'll do is I'm going to make this brown. And we'll put that there. No, wait, I don't want that. What I want is this will become brown. And we'll use this blue, right? What am I? All right, I see what I did. All right, so this brown is going to be the dark purple. And then what we need to do is we're going to make this here, which I just want not contiguous, whatever. We're going to make it this blue and replace it. All right, so the way that I'm just sort of sorting this out is that basically the what I've done is the zombies fit in this 8 colors, the female character fits in these 8 colors, and the player fits in these 8 colors. So there's 8 colors total that make it up. And then what we're doing is just remapping it. So furniture will have these 8 colors, and that those are the 8 colors that furniture can basically be part of. So now what we need to do is we need to get a sampling of this gray, which becomes the red, which is the first color. The green is going to be this blue, which is also here, right? So if I'm using that color in the same area, this should be green, so that it's shared. And there might not be a color here, so we'll just do that. And then the last is the red, the green. We have the red, the green, the purple. Okay, so now this should now match up. So let's save this, and we're going to save this PNG. Okay, we're going to output all of the sprites again, replace. We're going to exit this and rebuild our sprites, and our colors are off. And now here's why our colors are off. We now need to shift all of them up, and if we look at this, it's going to be in our color palette. We now need to shift them to here. Now I wonder why there's 2 colors missing. Okay, so this is 88, so calculator, 88 minus 64 is 24. So if we come here and we change this to, what was it, 24? Let's see if that fixes the colors. Close. So what's probably happening is I think I'm just off by a little bit, because the regular furniture is right. I think what I need to do is just fix, like if I made this 23, well, that's going to mess everything up. You know, so 24 is where we need to be. And now we just need to fix the couch and the TV. So let's take a look at what's going on with the couch and the TV. Because, right, this green we don't have the color for. So that's part of the problem. We need this blue. Well, what was here? if that blue is there, let's move this blue basically here, which is this green color. So let's see here. So that's the green, that's the green. The red is the gray. And what else was missing? I think it's just that blue is what's missing. So if we save this and we save this, we shouldn't have to rebuild anything. We should just be able to refresh. There we go. So the couch and the TV are now good. The only thing is I just want to change the background color because we should find a... this gray and this gray are very similar. Let's make the background color 33. So background color... and play it. All right, the text is a little annoying, but we can work with that. So, all right, I think that right there just shows off all of the stuff. I mean, we could do much cooler stuff with the zombie. Like we could change, we can make his eyes red and stuff, which wasn't something that we could do before. There's a lot of little effects, but I think right now I think I have this pretty much. Oh, you know what I want to do? I got to get rid of this and resave. Let me just resave this stuff out real quick. But I think right now, PNG, save, replace. And if we save this out, cool. Did I rebuild? I don't think I rebuilt the sprites. Let's just make sure that, whoops, I don't want to clear the color. I want to come here and let's do sprite builder and rerun the game. All right, so everything looks good. What I want to do next is just make sure that, let's just clean up the text a little bit and make this sort of more than just a very basic thing. So empty game, we're gonna call this Ness color right. What did I have? Was this all caps? Yeah. Ness sprite example. So let's take this out. We'll open up Grammarly. I don't know if this is going to work on here. I don't think I'm logged in. Skip. All right, I'll have to log in later. But what I just wanted to do is, I can't really see what the hell I'm doing here. Text. Let's just do this right here. So, all right. So, how about this? So I'll make this a little bit bigger so you guys can actually see what I'm writing. But basically, we're just going to finish up. We'll finish up this example, and I'll probably just throw this into Pixel Vision 8, and I'll launch this with the next round. And then as we continue to work on this artwork, we'll clean this up. So this example shows how to render sprites based on the original Nintendo's limitation of 3 colors per sprite. The 4th color was transparent. To get additional colors, extra sprites are overlaid overlaid on top of the base animation. Overlaid and additional. All right, let's see if this fits here. All right, this example shows off how to render sprites based on the original Nintendo's limitation of 3 colors per sprite. The 4th color was transparent. To get additional colors, extra sprites are overlaid on top of the base animation. All right, so that works. I think the one thing that's interesting is that there's no colon. It's probably just a character thing from copying it over. Yep, there we go. It's just this font's sort of wacky. I need to fix this font. Let's make this. We should make this text black. So what's black? I think it's. What is black? 32, right? So I need to find draw text. Let's make this 32. And we'll come down here and we're going to make all this text 32. And cool. So let's rerun this. And there we go. So next sprite example. Total sprites 51 frames per second. State 1. All right. And then. Right. So. All right. I think this is pretty good. I can't think of anything else that I want to do right now to it, because the next step would just be to sort of make a game. I think what we could do, which I don't know if I really have the time for, is we could try to make this into a C# example. I don't know if I have the time this morning. That I might have to do on my own. But because I have to convert all this stuff, and I think I just wanted to do like a little bit of a stream this morning just to get this working. Turn So what did we do here? So we've created all the palettes, we've cleaned up the colors so they work on a NES. We've turned this into an example project, and the only thing we haven't done is we haven't created an art pack yet, but I'm going to save that until we actually have everything else. And let's save all of our changes out. I think I'm going to end the stream a little early today, just because I'm here alone with my boys, so I don't want them. I don't want them causing any trouble. They're playing right now, but at any moment, I'm sure I'll get a yell that they need something like a drink or who knows what. They're still not tall enough yet to get everything they need. All right, so this is good. Good. Let's do this last thing. Let's go here and we're gonna save this project. I'm actually going to save this as NES Zombie Runner 3. Let's lock the specs and save. And then I'm going to archive it. And then, so archiving it will just copy it over to the games folder and it'll turn it into, oh, I should make that a V3. Well, actually, I can just use this. I got to stop using, I have to start making sure that I use all the tools in here to make sure that things work instead of cheating using the file system. A big part of this is just making sure, testing everything that it works. Let's see here. So data, so this should be called NES Zombie Runner V3. Save, quit. And we'll just archive this as a backup. All right, cool. So I think that's my stream for today. I think this came out pretty good. I was going to try to take an animated GIF of this. So everything is running, and it looks solid. Like, I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out. By the way, you can make a GIF. You can make an animated GIF in the game creator by hitting Control 4, and as you can see here, we just have a nice little animation now of what we worked on today. And I won't be able to stream. So no stream tomorrow. I will be back. I will probably be back streaming. I'll be streaming video games over the weekend as I go through and take some video footage of some old NES games for reference for some of the games that I want to build. And then I'm gonna be gone. I'll be back until Wednesday. I think that's when my wife gets back in town, so I can do the stream a little bit longer. And then when I have one trip to go, and then when I come back from my trip, we're gonna start actually turning this into a game, and that's what I'm really excited about. We're gonna make a casual esports game, which is something that we're working on at Amazon with our new Game On service, and I'm looking forward to trying to implement that because I love building little Nintendo games. So what we'll do is we're gonna build a little Nintendo game that has some esports elements to it. So anyways, thanks everyone for watching the stream. I'm wrapping it up, and have a good one. And I'll see you guys, I guess, either later when I'm streaming some some of my game stuff, and I'll be back doing game dev next week. Peace.